Hello everybody! My shirt is dirty because I actually wore sunscreen for once, and this is Art Talk. Now today is actually a little bit of a special day of Art Talk because a few days ago I posted a video asking, hey guys, do you have any questions for me? I know I'm at 250,000 followers, and I have your questions here and I'm going to answer them. Now there are 54 questions, so I can't quite guarantee I'll get through all of them, but I will try my best. I'm trying not to get this video over half an hour. Let's go! Very first question. How do I find my styles? Please. Sad emoji. By Vicky Kicks. Okay, Vicky. Don't concentrate so much on your style. This is... Lots of people want to, determine how they draw and it be unique, and frankly, I never did that. I just drew, and I found out what I wanted to do through practice and, persistence. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, just like you're not going to get really good overnight. And plus, my style changes on a regular basis. This is how I drew, a few years ago, and this is how I'm drawing now. Your art style is not going to be something solid. It will mold and change like a butterfly in a chrysalis over your lifetime. So don't worry about your style. Just draw. Draw what feels good. Question number 2, and I'm going to like each comment that I've actually answered. Question 2 by Cloud Demon. Congrats! Do you have any tips for making a comic? A webtoon. Frankly, I just started it. I'd say a good thing to do is get your story down first, or else it's going to wander. My biggest tips are to storyboard out everything beforehand and have some of your character design done. This is my webtoon thumbnail book. I thumbnail out every single chapter. Oh geez, where are we now? Yeah, this is the one we're on right now. And you can see I have these teeny little pictures and these itty bitty tiny little word bubbles. And if you make a webtoon in a long format like this, then you can create entire triple panels at once and make sure that the composition flows. I really like a flowy composition. It just looks nicer and it shows that you've actually put time and thought into it. And somebody else was asking about webtoons. That's a big tip. Try to make the composition not one little picture at a time. Try to make it flow, make it beautiful, make it go back and forth. I don't know how to describe it. Okay. How would you describe your aesthetic? I like plants. I like violence. I like these weird markings. I'll explain these in a moment because lots of other people have been asking about that. Oh geez, what is my aesthetic? I have no idea. I like black clothes, but I also looking like some sort of desert queen, flower princess at certain points. I like Mad Max Fury Road kind of things, but at the same time, I love to live in Lothlorien. My aesthetic is all over the place. I just enjoy too many things, so I never really pin it down. I'm fluid in what I enjoy and what I wear. But yeah, I'd say desert warrior with tattoos all over my face. That's a good aesthetic. Yeah, sand people. Is there a song that takes you to another world? Yes, there is. I will link it in the description. It's not a sound. It is. Oh, and who asked that? Unit 10. And literalnick asked about the aesthetic. Unit 10, it's a soundtrack. It's not even a soundtrack. It's a noise generator that comes from a really, 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 really good website called mynoise.net. And it's called the Who Chant. And it reminds me directly of Pirantina. Every time I need to go there and I need to get myself inspired to do my Pirantina stuff, I listen to the Who Chant, and it just makes me go, and I start dissociating and imagining everything, and I almost start crying. It absolutely wipes me to another place. So here's the link somewhere. Let's see if I can get this to work. And if you can find it right there, then yeah, it's such a cool, absolutely cool piece of music. PeachyCone720 is asking, is tracing still art? And 2 people here are immediately replying no. Here's my opinion about tracing. Tracing is important if you're going to learn, and you can trace and then turn it into art. If you're directly tracing something that is somebody else's art or a photograph and then filling it in with the exact same color, I'd say that's tracing. It's not its direct same. I wouldn't. Art, okay. I have done tracing. In pieces of art you have seen. Here's one of them. It's a portrait I did of myself. It was very dramatic. I traced my hand, I traced my face, but then I filled it with my own color. I put my own emotion into it, my own meaning. If I just traced my face and then done the exact same color and everything to a T, I would not personally consider that art. And even in here, I'm a little bit guilty about the tracing. It's a lot more to me about what you're doing with the tracing. If it's just the base for something else, or like this is part of the next chapter for the next webtoon. This is traced. It's because I didn't have enough time. You see, one of these webtoon chapters usually takes me between 60 and 90 hours. And I was like, screw it, I'm not gonna spend the time. And then I just traced the jacket and I filled everything else in by myself. See, it's taking that tracing and turning it into something different, giving it the emotion, giving it the meaning. So is tracing art? Just strictly tracing? But is taking a tracing you do and giving it your own meaning, own emotion, own passion art? I would say yes. Some people disagree with me, but I would say yes. But you have to make it different from the original tracing. That's the big key there. That's probably going to be a sensitive topic. If you guys want to have a discussion on this, please do it in the comments, because I want to see what you think. Okay. Is using Z-ruler in art cheating? I have a problem with random measurements that I'm unable to recreate. By Invalid Snowflake. I wouldn't say it's cheating. I mean, is using a ruler in real life cheating? Is using a color palette cheating? Whenever an architect decides to, draw a schematic, is them using that crazy T-ruler desk thing cheating? No, it's not. It's a tool. Art uses tools. There's some people who are like, well, you can't use the fancy brushes, or you can't use an eraser, blah, blah, blah. It's not cheating, it's your tools. If you have difficulty in a small area, then use the tools that give you an advantage. Ugh. Like, are you an airline pilot if you have to use radar? You should be extremely eyeball sensitive. You should be able to see those things with your own eyeballs. Of course you're gonna use the radar, Jesus Christ. Portable Poem is asking, what is your favorite color? And they're saying, I love your story. Thank you so much. I'm trying my best. My favorite color is definitely turquoise. My group of favorite colors, turquoise, orange, black, and white. And I also really like greens. And I'm starting to really like the spectrum between purple and green. So purple to blue, green, teal, indigo, everything in there. But yeah, I'm more of a cool color person. And if you spike in a little bit of a bright orange or a salmon pink, I like that too. But honestly, I grew up like trying to be as anti-girl as I possibly could. I was like, I am the tomboy, you cannot out-tomboy me. And then I realized that it's stupid, and trying to reject my own femininity is dumb, and I'm starting to enjoy my own femininity. And so I'm still sticking to cooler colors, but there's nothing that says that's not feminine itself. That's an entire discussion. I like turquoise. Okay. Hisubai5 is asking, am I interested in geocaching after stumbling upon that one a few TikToks ago? Not really. I was just happy to find it. I thought it was some weird Wiccan thing, but now I'm like, oh cool, it's a thing, and I just happened to find it. I have too many things to do, and I'd rather just explore on my own instead of having an app telling me where to explore. That kind of takes the point out of exploring for me. Okay. Have you ever seen A Real Human Skull by Shinimommy? Yes, I have. Art school. How do you make genuine characters? Like, this is Hello Friendo Friend is asking. How do you make genuine characters? Like, how to make them seem like real people? That's a loaded question. I hate to say this is one of my natural talents, and I don't know how I do it. I guess observing real people in life and seeing what their flaws are and how they act, and then impressing that upon your characters is the best way. Don't go with cliches. Make sure your characters are flawed. You're not going to have, some big brawny, muscly woman superhero going around and always kicking butt, and she has no flaws or no internal conflicts. That's not how it works. Like, if you look at really any good superhero movie, they have some sort of beautiful origin story and their own conflicts they're dealing with inside. And that's what makes it real. There's actually a really good movie on Netflix about this chubby girl, and I think it's called Dumplin'. It's a really cute movie, but it really, really speaks to how people exist and problems that they really have, and I'd suggest watching that. It's a good one. But yeah, I'd say look at what real life gives you and try replicating real life. Okie dokes, here we have more. By Emma G 2005. How did you know you wanted to be an artist? I never had a choice in this. It just kept happening. I was trying to steer myself towards engineering for the longest time because I love physics. AP Physics was one of my favorite classes. But I just kept drawing. I can't get it out of my head. It's always been in there, it's always going to be there, and there's nothing I can do about it. So that's how I decided I want to be an artist. Whatever's controlling everything up there was like, okay, art. No choice. Shoo, go off. Make some crazy warrior alien people. Okay. What are my favorite and most used pens in Procreate? Asking by Entangled. I really like Nico Roll. I like Taralea. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. I like the 6B pencil. I made a ballpoint pen brush that I really like. I like the Nebula brush. But if I could pinpoint it down to the most common ones I use, it's 6B pencil, Jagged brush, Nico Roll, and Taralea. Those 4 I use almost more than anything else. Little Tay Burrell 18 is asking, can you do a video where you show the brushes you use? I have done like 2 or 3 of those, but I will be doing one for YouTube, so that people know, because it's really annoying trying to scroll through TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, there's no labels, you don't know how to find things. So I will make those videos, I will remake those videos, and I will post them here on YouTube so you have them to reference to. Okay. Ryu Dragons is asking, how do you think of the things you draw? Again, this is something I really don't have a choice in. Sometimes if I know that I'm missing a skill set, I will go after that. Like, for instance, I'm not very good at drawing foliage or water. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to practice this. And I went and I took some reference photos because we have both foliage and water where I live. And then I drew them and I look at reference photos online. So that's one thing. I draw what I don't know how to draw so I know how to draw it later. 2 is just things pop up in my head and I can't explain it. It's bizarre. I don't know how my brain works. It's weird. It just shows me images and I draw them. That's the only way I can put it. I just see things in my head and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. And the same thing happened with the Pirantina stories. I didn't decide to make these stories. They just happen in my head. Like that. It's really weird. Okay. Davidsdoodles is asking, how are you so cool? I object. I am not cool. I'm just trying to live my life. Actually, I appreciate the compliment. I was very, very, very introverted when I was in elementary school, junior high, senior high, even a bit in college. I guess I'm just living the way I want to now because I'm so tired of, I was tired of the rejection and bullying and being discluded from things and, stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, if nobody's gonna like me in the first place, then why am I trying to still impress them? And so I just started being myself and I was suddenly, oh my god, people like me for being me? Whoa, who would have guessed? So if you want to be cool, be yourself. Just don't be a murderer. Okay. Killer K06 is asking, how old am I? I am 24 years old. Yoish. Okay, honey.millie.ash is asking, how many drawings have I ever drawn? A lot. If I had to estimate, at least 10,000. If you're talking about little sketches too. I even drew in my AP World History book. I don't have that anymore. A significant portion of my drawings were drawn in junior high school. I was sketching so much and I got in trouble with the teachers over it sometimes. It was really funny. But yeah, I would have to say in the several thousands, if you're including teeny sketches. If you're looking at finished pieces, at least 600, 700. But again, a lot of them were from junior high school era. I've also done animations, and animations take a lot more time, especially 3D animations. So yeah, I've done a lot of art. Kayloroli, sorry, 339's asking, do I have a class? Like something on Skillshare, but more personal? I do not. People ask me to make tutorials, and I make them and I put them up on YouTube. That's a work in progress. I have a list of them in the description of the videos. I don't have any personalized teaching. I do like tutors, and I'm trying to figure a way to actually tutor people online in person. The problem is I would need them to see the iPad Pro while we draw. So yeah, I don't have anything set up yet. If anybody has any suggestions on how to set it up, then I'd love to hear it, because I still want to be able to teach people directly. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, Sammy the gay drawer is asking, any drawing suggestions I could do? Draw an elephant juggling monkeys who are juggling frogs that are sticking their tongues out, trying to catch flies that are made of gold. And see if you can get the movement and the emotion right. It's hectic. There's a fire in the background. People are screaming. People are running away. Something's coming. A dark shadow. A dark blue shadow with little stars in it. The elephant's nervous. It's sweating. It doesn't know what's going to happen, but it knows it has to juggle those monkeys. Draw that! Okay. Hinosrus is asking, could you do something on drawing backgrounds in IbisPaint? Okay. When it comes to IbisPaint, I want to actually download it so I can start doing some tutorials, because I know that not everybody can afford Procreate. That's something that's going to be happening in the future. I can't really do that right now, but I do have it on my mind. It is something that I want to think about. Lavender Lollipop is asking, when do you expect your webtoon to be done? And also, do you think you will publish it on any other platform than WEBTOON? I'm thinking about Tumblr, and the webtoon is based on 7 books. And we are only at chapter 4 from the first book, and each book has between like 22 and 57 chapters. It's going to take at least a decade. I'm not kidding. It's going to be a long time. Which is why I'm making the audiobooks and publishing the regular books, because I know the webtoon is not going to be done anytime soon. This looks like a next 20 years kind of project. That's the scope Pirantina is going to take in my life. And I'm happy to let it take that long. It's my project. I feel like it's what I'm here for. It's like one of those things that I can't get out of my head. So yeah, the webtoon is not going to be done anytime soon. It's a very, very, very long story. Madelineceron is asking, do you have a job or are you in school? And if you have a job, what do you do? I graduated from the Cleveland Institute of Art in 2017. Ever since then, I mean, for a while I was working at overnights at a gas station because my first grandfather died and I was kind of lost and I didn't want to do my art. Ever since then, I've been freelancing. And right now I am with my remaining grandfather here in Virginia. This is not my original room. This is the Virginia room, the guest room. At the moment, my main job is taking care of him and organizing the caregivers who come and help and doing the shopping and paying bills and stuff. So I guess you could call that a job. In the meantime, I do commissions, I do YouTube, and I draw and develop worlds. So right now I am in an upsy-downsy part of my life, which is kind of why I started TikTok and why I started YouTube, because I wanted there to be something substantial that'll just stay there. So that's where we are right now. Moneyyy.aidan is asking, what's it like having so many followers? Overwhelming. I don't know how to answer all of you guys. I'll post a video. My average view count seems to be about 3,000, average like count between 700 and maybe 5,000. When a video starts going viral though, there are comments and comments and comments, and I'm just like, ah! And another thing that was upsetting was the critiques. I wanted to do all those art critiques and I got absolutely flooded. I never expected to be popular. I never expected to succeed. I just thought I was gonna be like, ooh, another struggling, TikToker, and then I wasn't. And I still don't know what to do with it. My biggest goal with having so many of you guys following is to be able to spread positivity, make you feel better about yourselves, your art, give you resources, give you somebody to, brighten your day up. So knowing that I can now affect that many people, or have potential to affect that many people, gives me this aching sense of responsibility, or like I'm not allowed to do wrong, I'm not allowed to express my opinion anymore. That's one thing. I can't express myself. If I say one wrong thing in a comment section, or even an opinion that's unpopular or something in a discussion forum on TikTok, and not discussion forum, on a discussion provoking thing on a video on TikTok. And then people are like, hey, you're not, I follow you, and we didn't expect you to say that kind of thing. We feel weird. And I'm like, I can't say what I want to say anymore. So yeah, that's what it's like having that many followers. It's good. But sometimes it's not. Okay. Ayala Giovanni 46 is asking, how do you deal with hate? Or if you don't, how would you? I'm still at that stage where if I see an unpleasant comment on one of my videos, then I'm like, ugh! How could they? And I get grumpy about it for a few minutes. Usually I delete them. I delete a lot of negative comments. I don't want them. And I have the power to delete them. So I do. That's the beautiful thing about the internet. People say ugly things that they usually wouldn't say to you in real life, and you have the power to ignore it or delete it if they're on your video. So do so. You are not obliged to read somebody's crap. Recently, I had that video that I made a while ago where I was drawing underwear on the butts of my characters because TikTok deleted the first video. And by the way, that one got banned. That video did get banned, and I fought them on it, and they put it back up. I said, listen, there's nothing wrong with this. There's no nudity. This video is completely fine. And they put it back up. And somebody commented, how are you not banned by now? And I was like, wow. Actually, that one did sting a bit. And I was like, huh. And I deleted their comment and I blocked them. So that's how I deal with hate. If somebody is saying something to you that's thought-provoking and a critique of your character that actually is worth something, that, something you need to improve on, that's one thing. You can feel butthurt about it for a little bit, but you gotta think about those kind of comments. But if it's somebody who's just like, hey Miranda, you're fat, or, why are you so stupid, or what? Ew, that stupid white face paint, blah, blah, blah. I've had all those kind of comments, except for the fat one. Nobody thinks I'm fat. It's the weirdest thing, because I think I'm huge. But, if it's just random hate that people are putting out on you, just delete it. It's a nasty comment just to be nasty. You don't need to listen to that. Listen to things that people say that are actually meaningful, but none of the hate. No hate. Tony Nicole 11 is asking, why did you start drawing? Because I want to be like you. And can you do a vid saying how we can start becoming digital artists? The way you can start becoming digital artists is by being normal artists first. Digital art is just a medium. It's like becoming an acrylic painter or a charcoal drawer. I hate the word drawer. Or a charcoal illustrator. You need the basics of art and composition and color theory do not change just because of your materials. So I'd say, since digital art is expensive, buying a tablet is not cheap. If you want to be a digital artist, start with the basics first and use pencil and paper. That's my biggest tip. I know it's a disappointing tip, but I spent 13 years of my life being a traditional artist before I went into digital art. That's a lot of time. Some of you guys watching this are not even 13 years old. And yeah. So grab yourself tutorials on the internet. Learn anatomy, learn composition, study an artist called David. Look up history painting. Study Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Rembrandt. Look at Picasso. Learn things about color theory, why colors work together. Go observe outside. Learn how to draw perspective, depth, all these different things. Digital art is just art that's done digitally. It doesn't change anything except for your medium and how you're putting things down into a readable format for other people. Get your basics done first! Okay, now, the Uwu Bananas 54321 is asking, do you have any tips for beginner artists? You hear what I just said in the previous little rant I had? Those are my tips. Unknown.0exe5 is asking, hi, how do you stay motivated? I don't. My motivation is that I gotta do it. That's not necessarily a healthy motivation. There's a difference between doing art for fun, which is what I used to do in high school, and doing art as a job, which is what I have to do now. I have a lot of followers, I am building a career, a business, and a platform here on YouTube, along with the Pirantina world, and now I know that if I just lose motivation and decide to stop doing it for 2 months, I'm going to disappoint a lot of people. That's my motivation. You guys. If I just decided, oh my god, I'm so depressed, and I do have depression and anxiety, so that can be hard. I'm like, oh, I'm so depressed. I'm gonna quit for right now. I can't do that. I just can't. It does get hard. I'm very much a tough luck person. I'm pretty hard on myself. And I have a lot of stuff I want to do. And so it's one of those things of, I'm 24 right now, considering my health and my diet and my exposure to sunlight, blah, 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 I probably have about 60 years left. How am I going to fit everything I want to do in 60 years? Also, is there going to be an apocalypse? It looks like it considering everything that's happening right now. Maybe I only have 20 years, 30 years. How much of that can I get done in that time? So really my motivation is death. feral.toad is asking, got any odd hobbies? I don't have odd hobbies. I like working on my car, learning about how to work on my car. I like playing electric guitar. On and off. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy it. I like trying to plan things, but they always end up dying. Really, really dramatic diary entries that look like they were written by a hormonally enraged 14-year-old girl. I'm a decade older than that. I should not be writing like that, but I still do. Is that an odd hobby? Alexandra Art 06 is asking, when did you start taking art more seriously? Probably around the age of 14. Actually, I don't know. Maybe when I started doing AP art in high school. I was actually allowed to do AP art like a year or two early, because I took another class, like advanced art or something, or honors art. I forget exactly what it was. I took that a year or two early after finishing my course material over the summer, so I could advance a year faster. I guess when I started skipping ahead in art in my high school, that's when I realized that I was taking it more seriously. Teacups is asking, do you like acrylic painting? Conceptually. I'm more of a watercolor person, and I really don't like oil painting because it's smelly and messy. I don't like smelly, messy things. I like cleanliness and organization and sunlight streaming through blossoms. Oil paint smells like oil paint. Oil paint smells like something really unnaturally disgusting and chemical, and I don't like it. Actually, acrylic paint can smell weird too. But sometimes I use acrylic paint. Not often though. I really am an oil paint person. I really am a watercolor person. Ianater80 is asking, what is your webtoon? My webtoon is called Saga for Pirantina. Everything you need is linked down below, as well as the audiobook. Why am I acting like this? Another favorite color question. Indisillustrations is asking, how long did it take you to get to where you are in art now? Literally 20 years. I started arting when I was honestly maybe 2 or 3. I kind of just picked stuff up and drew. But if you look at my entire art career, it's been about 20 years. If you look at my when I started researching art and actually starting drawing and trying to learn, I was about 9. So 15 years, I guess. Yeah. Draw for 15 to 20 years. Matilda Patching is asking, what is your favorite food and animal? I really, really, really like sushi. And I really, really, really like tacos. And I really, really, really like mangoes. I gravitate towards sushi, tacos, and mangoes. I also really like bok choy and stir fry with chicken. Ooh, it's good. And icy fruity things. And mint. Mint chocolate ice cream. Oh, I love mint chocolate ice cream. And meat. I really like meat. But then I really, 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 really like broccoli dipped in ranch. I don't have a favorite food. I'm just a fat ass. And my favorite animal is a hard one. Probably a goshawk. They're a very agile kind of hawk. They're very cool. They're kind of pretty. I like birds of prey a lot. Jay Leia is asking, where do I go to buy a stylist? First of all, you'd want to go to a hair salon. Second of all, it's illegal to buy people, so I would not suggest going to buy a stylist. If you want a stylus, S-T-Y-L-U-S, it depends on what tablet you're using. You can't just buy an Apple Pencil for any iPad. You can buy many different kind of styluses for regular iPad though, and for your phones. Honestly, if you want something to draw with like a pen, there are touchscreen pens, and they cost like $10 at you can get them actually at dollar stores at the moment. If you want one that's nice and it works, I would recommend looking at Wacom. They have some pretty good ones from what I understand. Danny Castillo 96 is asking, how do you draw female bodies? I don't know, buddy. I'm still having trouble with that one too. 1-800-GET-A-LIFE is asking, do you like egg? Depends on what it does to me. And well, that looks like all the questions for now. There were 54 comments. Some of them were silly things like like just the entire long list of hi and first, and then other ones. I'm glad we stuck to our half an hour. That makes me happy. Oh, another one of my favorite foods. I really like tea, and I really like matcha. I'm actually right now drinking a matcha tea latte. Oh, it tastes like milk in America. So that was the first ever Q&A. That was the first ever Q&A done. Wait! I forgot about this. The reason I have this. In Pirantina, there's a species called the magi. And they are between, like, average height is like 23, 24 feet, but they're usually between 18 and 28 feet tall. 28's on the really, really tall side. And they don't have mouths because they're telepaths. They have sharp claws. They don't have ears. Their skin is like itty bitty 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 tiny scales, and it's almost kind of glassy. They come in every single color you could imagine, with every single kind of hair, every single eye color. Their feet have claws too, and their claws come in like basically they usually range black, silver, gray, white, gold, like in those ranges. Sometimes a bit bluish. Yeah, basically almost any color, but it's usually very pale. Black and silver and gold are very common. But there are nobles and there are royals. The royals, there's the crowned royal, and I'll give examples. There's crowned royals. This is Queen Orateka Cardon. I'm not quite done with this picture, but you can see her little facial marking. That means that she's a married crowned royal. Then you have somebody like Eidolon, for instance, who is the main character in the Pirantina series. Bam! Eidolon. You can see he has these blue markings around his eyes. These are all birthmarks, by the way. They come just when they're created by the gods and sent down to the birth column. I forget what I called it. And so with battle royals, they're the second born. These are actually muscles that very special, they have a special way of manipulating their cornea, so that they can see and defend their eyes in extremely dangerous circumstances, telescopic, like super duper far away gaze, or, like they can see into things that they shouldn't really be able to, like very close up or very far away. And then you have alchemist royals like Kiteru. Kiteru is a secondary character. He's Eidolon's youngest brother. So you got crowned royal, battle royal, alchemist royal. And alchemist royals have markings that usually come vertically down around their eyes. And they don't always have to be symmetrical. Battle royals are almost always perfectly symmetrical. Crown royals, it's only on one or the other side, and it's always gold. And then, and then the alchemist royals, it can be varied, but it's always a vertical thing over their eye. And that's where this comes from. It's just, for me, it's more of a, let's make something that kind of looks like a magi, a royal or noble magi's eye thing. Sometimes if I need a confidence boost, for instance, I'll be like, today I need to feel like a leader, I need to get stuff done, and I'll put the little marking or something like it for the crown royal. Or if I'm feeling like angry, aggressive, okay, we're gonna go get stuff, done, and I'm gonna, get my exercise or whatever, then it's like, it's more along the eyes like this, and it's like, yeah, battle royal. And if I'm like, I have a lot of things to do and I need to organize, I need to be intelligent, then I will do more of an alchemist royal design. And so yeah, that's where the facial markings come from. I like the white because using darker colors like dark purple, dark blue feels a bit too bold for me, and it feels a bit too much like a tattoo. And I like the lighter color palette on me. Outside of wearing black, I don't wear dark colors on my face very well because I have a sharp, I have deep set baggy eyes and stuff, so that's why I like using white specifically. It's actually it's the NYX, I think. Yeah, NYX white eyeliner. It's actually the white face paint. That's what I used to do that. But yeah, that's where it came from. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the questions. I'm going to be doing another one sooner or later. I don't quite know when. Maybe in a few more months. See if anybody has any new kind of questions. Thank you for watching. It was really entertaining answering your questions. I hope you guys all have a good day. I'm going to be uploading a few new videos later this week, and then I'm going back to Pittsburgh for my sister and my father's birthday, so I'm going to be gone for a while again. It was great being able to interact with you guys. I hope to do it again more. If you want any more tutorials, or if you don't see anything in the list in the description, please comment below. And I also want to see if anybody has any comments on the tracing thing, because that was just my opinion. That doesn't make it right or wrong. It's an opinion. And you guys all have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Bye-bye!